Hello, my name is Travis Preston, and I'm the Artistic Director of the CalArts Center for New Performance and the Dean of the CalArts School of Theater. And I'm really happy to be able to talk to you about this work by Bogusław Schaefer. First of all, I would like to contextualize Schaefer's work. As you probably know, the Polish avant-garde, and specifically experimental work within the theater in Poland, is one of the most extraordinary landscapes of theater in the world and has been so for many, many years. In the 70s, I went to Poland as a young student to study with Jerzy Grotowski, and at that time encountered an extraordinary group of artists that included Tadeusz Kantor, as well as the great visual artist and theater practitioner Joseph Scheiner. There's no question that this led me to bring Polish artists to the United States. The Polish tradition of experimental work is absolutely inspiring. And so in the last few years, I've sought to bring to the CalArts Center for New Performance Radek Rycek, as well as the artistic director of Joseph Scheiner's theater, founded by Joseph Scheiner, Natalia Korczakowska, where she did important work with respect to Witkiewicz. I want to say now that I'm very happy that this work of Schaefer is being presented in the United States. Of course, Schaefer is principally known as a composer. He is a musicologist, he's a visual artist, and of course was a member of the avant-garde group, the Krakow group, which also included the great composer Krzysztof Penderecki. Schaefer's unconventional style, I think it's important that we recognize that everyone speaks about interdisciplinarity today. But when Schaefer was first beginning his experiments, no one really thought in those terms. And yet he was creating a profoundly unconventional, interdisciplinary style centered on the view that music as a content was a construct with many layers of structure, threads, languages, and expression. And his musical mind has inspired his ways of constructing theater pieces and vice versa. I would also relate him very profoundly to Fluxus. So there's an extremely playful characteristics to what he does. Now let's focus on this particular project. One of the real advantages, and there are very few, but there are some, of the COVID crisis is that it has stimulated some unique international collaborations that could otherwise not happen or would not have otherwise been thought of, until people realized that they could just as easily create a Zoom context with someone down the street as well as someone abroad. This has led to this particular collaboration, which brings Polish artists together with artists from Los Angeles, and I'm proud to say artists, many of whom have a relationship to CalArts and CalArts Center for New Performance. And they're working together in this unique international collaboration. I think that this is an interesting expansion of our ability to engage artists abroad, and I encourage you to see this work in the spirit of really a long tradition of dedication to avant-garde work in Poland, and of course its ability to dramatically and I think very positively influence our theatrical landscape. And I would include Schaeffer in that long list of experimental artists that include, of course, Witkiewicz, Grotowski, Kantor, Scheiner, and there are many others. But those are the names of very, very particular artists, very different kinds of artists. But Schaeffer certainly belongs alongside those other great creators. Thank you.